everybody. And tonight I'm going to be very brief because I just want to discuss the update about Fela Durotoye, and I also want to give you updates on the PACT, that is the presidential aspirants coming together. Fela Durotoye, as I said yesterday during the broadcast while we were discussing between Omoyele Sowore and Kingsley Moghalu, Durotoye, I reached out eventually to his camp today, and I learned that he's still very much in the race, and not just in the race, but the update about his ANN, that is the Alliance for New Nigeria. You know, like we said before, there's certain information about the ANN, which is that the ANN has a crisis, and the crisis is that only few days towards the party congress, it was reported that certain person named Benga Olawepo just pulled a first one on the party, hijacking the party, flocking it with new people, persons, and then using money to influence, or using influence over so many things. That was the report. And as a result, Fela Durotoye, Dr. Thomas Wilson Ekubese, Elisha Maide, that female aspirant, they and a few other persons, including their followers and supporters, decided to boycott the Congress because they were not comfortable with the sudden development in the party, because they felt like it would no longer be pure, it would no longer be representative of the value that created the party. So the boycott was the last thing I learned of the actions or activities of Fela Durotoye and Dr. Wilson Ekubese and Elisha Maide, who are of the Alliance for New Nigeria ANN party. Well, the update is that Fela Durotoye is now back in the party. He's still very much with ANN. He only boycotted the Congress. That's the information so far. And then Fela Durotoye is not just back in the party. The update again is that there is a new chairman from the Congress they had in the party. And the new chairman has assured that everything that happened by way of suspected irregularity would now be corrected, and that everybody should return to the party and let everybody come together and decide what to do next. So Fela Durotoye and others are still very much in the party ANN. Therefore, on 31st of this month, so I learned, 31st of August, is that the date? Yes, 31st of August, they will have a resolution finally as to what they want to do. So there will be a meeting that would come up with a resolution at the end of the day on 31st of August. That is in ANN. So, but that is part A of the news tonight. Part B of the news tonight is that Fela Durotoye, the PACT and Fela Durotoye is what I'm reporting next. This week, it is expected that the presidential aspirants coming together group, that is the PACT, will decide who the consensus candidates will be among all the young presidential aspirants they have called together. Most of you will recall what PACT is all about, all right? So, PACT, again, for those of you who are joining us for the first time since we started broadcasting about the PACT and its activities, is the new generation aspirants are now being called together that they should decide among themselves a consensus candidate to go and prosecute or battle the election for them and get the victory. All of them, the rest of them, after choosing the consensus candidate, will sacrifice their own ambitions and support the one person they all agree for. That is the agreement in PACT. Well, even though we have reported in the past few days also that PACT is beginning to suffer some setbacks as some members are withdrawing, that they are not comfortable with the arrangement, or some have concerns about the progress or activities of PACT so far. Well, the update is that Fela Durotoye has said that if PACT decides for him as a consensus candidate, he will be very much part of the primary that will take place in the ANN, that is his political party, Alliance for New Nigeria. But that if at the end of the decision of PACT, which is expected to happen this week Thursday, if he is not the consensus candidate, he would not need to bother going further to decide for primary in the ANN. That is the information I gathered so far from Fela Durotoye's camp, ANN and PACT. Alright? So, and then immediately I got this information and, I concluded, I got the tangible information that this is the decision that has been reached or decided by Fela Durotoye, that if PACT chooses him, then you will still go for primary at ANN, which is not happening yet. But if PACT does not decide for him, he will sacrifice his ambition and support whoever PACT chooses. I think that deserves a very big round of applause, if you ask me. I mean, for my own part, I applaud Fela Durotoye. And this decision made by Durotoye is what then reminded me of the time I met him some weeks ago in Ogbomoso, when I went to block him up at Lautech to see how his town hall meeting is faring. I went with my crew to Ogbomoso to go and see Fela Durotoye and capture or cover his town hall meeting. And after we left the town hall meeting, I also followed him to a few other places. And then it was at one of the meetings he was having with his supporters, who were students of Lautech, that he made the following comment. And I'm going to be playing the comment to you. I will show you the question they asked him, that they also want a common front among all these aspirants. But then, if they need people to sacrifice their ambitions, who will sacrifice their own ambition? Guess what Fela Durotoye said? See the video.
We can all come together and form a synergy so that we can actually actualize the new Nigeria we're talking about. So I just want to ask, what's your plan towards it? ANRP doing their own ANN and so many other people. I believe you guys in Lautech know that some other young guys are canvassing for another political person. So what are we doing?
There's probably going to be a grand coalition anyway of people of the same ideology. Not just people who have a common enemy, but the people who have a common ideology. APC had a common enemy, but they did not have a common ideology. So when they had defeated their enemy, they still could not win the people because they didn't have a plan to win them. Did you understand what I'm saying? We are saying no. We are gathered together by a common ideology. And so you talk about something about a coalition, and you can begin to see coalition is already beginning to happen. Recently, some of you may have heard that the Nigerian Intervention Movement, right, adopted ANN out of about 17 parties that they were looking at. Okay? And we know that that is only the beginning. Okay? There are people who are saying, oh, there's a very strong chance that some of the very prominent candidates or aspirants may also come up. Listen, you are right in one way. It will take a coalition to be able to make not only the kind of victory that is required, but to be able to make the kind of change that is required. You understand? It will take that. And that thing has already started happening. There's nobody that doesn't that. And if you look at my posts, you hear me talking about in the new Nigeria, it will not be bitter competition that will be our story. It will be better collaboration. You've been seeing me, some of you may notice, when Kingsley Moghalu came out for the first time and announced his aspiration. I don't know whether anybody noticed. What did I do? I posted it. And people are wondering, how does an aspirant post the announcement of another aspirant? And I was explaining to them, I said, listen, because in the end, we're all going to come together. All we need are good people to step up. And when good people step up, when they feel like other good people are welcoming them and saying, come, some other people will be encouraged. And that has happened already. If you go and look even on my platform, you will see people like Dr. Professor Remi Shonaya, who ran last year as the first female candidate. There has been female aspirants before her, but not a female candidate before her. right? Now, all of us are talking. How do we come together? We all have the same ideology. We all have the same values. And I've always told people, listen, if it is that they will look for one person that will step down for everybody else to go, guess who's going to be the first person? Yes. I know you guys don't want to say it. Who do you think is going to be one of the people that will say, come, for this new Nigeria, if you guys need one person to step down, who do you think will step down? I know you don't want to say it. Because you don't want it to be me. Abi? But do you realize that he that is willing to lay his life down, you'll be amazed that is the one that people will pick. You'll be amazed. Watch it. Watch it. Watch it. Just watch it. Listen, if you love Nigeria, you will sacrifice yourself on it. You understand? If you guys don't want me to be the one that will sacrifice myself, do you think it's Showore's people that want him to sacrifice himself? If Showore is not willing to sacrifice himself, do you think it's going to be Kingsley Moghalu's people that will want him to sacrifice himself? If Kingsley Moghalu doesn't want him to sacrifice himself, do you think that it is, can I continue to go on and on? So in the end, we are going to come back to the same thing. All of us are going to say, no, it's not my own people. I want a coalition, but we don't want you to be the one that will step there. You can't have a coalition until everybody is willing to step there. And you have to show role model behavior. This is about Nigeria. This is not about Fela Durotoye. If you make it about Fela Durotoye, you will fall flat on this. Fela Durotoye is only a symbol of what you want. And for this Nigeria, whatever has to give, will do it. And you know what is going to happen? In the end, the people will know who loves Nigeria the most. And they say, this is the one that should come first. You won't need to say, I am the one. You will say that. That is the strongest coalition of our.
Dear viewers, you just heard it. Fela Durotoye speaking there. I don't know what your opinion is. I am impressed. Now, I'm going to be taking your comments because I see some comments already coming in the live chat. I'm going to be displaying your comments and let us discuss. Let's discuss this idea. I mean, Fela Durotoye doesn't want himself to be discussed in isolation. He wants ideas to be discussed. He wants the idea he has thrown forward to be discussed, not himself, which I also appreciate, right? Okay. So, having said that, before I begin to read the comments and we begin to interact on the live chat as we normally do, let me also play another video that buttresses what Fela Durotoye just said in the clip you just saw now, which makes us see him as a consistent person as far as...
It's not what people call you, it's who you call yourself.
Tell us, bro.
So you know what people say, sometimes I read my book, say I'm an author.
You're an author?
Hey, sometimes they listen to me on the public stage, they call me inspirational speaker. Motivational speaker. Some people see me corporate setting, they say, you're a consultant.
Gee.
Brrr. Some people see me running for a new Nigeria. They say you're presidential aspirant.
Mr. President.
Brrr. But you know who I think I am?
Tell us, bro.
I'm a nation builder.
Nation builder?
And I'm building Nigeria into the most desirable nation to live in.
Tell us, bro.
And if you think that can't be done, it's impossible, I got one message for you.
What is it, bro?
I am possible, and that is my identity.
Is that how we do, bro? Is that what we be doing now?
That's what he's doing now, bro. That's what Fela Durotoye is, bro. He's a nation builder. That's what he is, bro. Alright? Honestly, sincerely, no emotion, no sentiment. I give it to Durotoye. Salute. I'm really, really impressed. Now, before you begin to bash me, because I know a lot of people on air are going to be bashing me tonight, I read some comments yesterday following the Moghalu or Showore, discussion. Some people were accusing me of supporting Moghalu. Some were accusing me of supporting Showore in the same video that we both analyze the strengths of both aspirants. Pro Showore people accuse me of supporting Moghalu. Promogalu people accuse me of supporting Shore. Now tonight, you are going to accuse me of supporting Fela Durotoye. I know. So, but before it happens, I already put it forward. Oh yeah, go ahead. Start. Okay? Start. All right, so let's look at the comments. Let's look at the comments. All right, keep them coming. Lagos is no longer safe to buy properties. Suzanne Iwuchoki. Okay, I think this comment is with respect to the last broadcast I ran, which is Kelly Blind, comedian Kelly Blind, which I interviewed him earlier today, talking about what happened to him. His house was demolished by Lagos State Task Force. Lagos State Task Force brought so many policemen to demolish houses at Awoyaya, part of Lagos State, and they chased so many residents of the displaced so many people, including comedian Kelly Blind. And over 500 buildings were said to have been demolished in that exercise. All right, and then they were only given 72 hours notice, and then they were sent off. It was said to be done by Skybank. Skybank carried out that demolition exercise by buying, according to them, fraudulent papers, judgments and orders, and they were backed by the Lagos State government. That's what I heard. All right. Okay, fine. So let's come back to what current topic is. Right. The current topic is about Fela Durotoye and what he said, the idea he put forward. All right. Let me hear what people have to say. All right. So I come to you. Sheyi Banjo says, I say amen to that. Whatever you are saying amen to. Okay. Are you saying amen to Fela Durotoye stating that he would step down if he is required to so do? If that's what you are saying amen to, well, whatever the intention is that you said amen to such, is fine. Okay? Baptop 1 say, why can't all the young vibrant aspirants come together as one? That is how we can make it together. Well, I am also of the same opinion that if all of them want to run separately, we will still be dividing the votes. And as such, it is not realistic or realizable that 2019 will have a young president. Except we want to make up our minds that we don't want it yet. Or if we want it yet, I don't know, I'm not suggesting who should be, but I'm saying the following persons that are mentioning their names. Tope Fasua has demonstrated seriousness by being the first to even register his own political party and then putting himself forward to say he wants to run. Omoyele Sowore first came out to say he would run, started demonstrating seriousness, traveling almost all over the world and going almost around the entire country, all right, to do town hall meeting before coming back to register a political party. Fela Durotoye, he was showed pepper in his party. He boycotted the Congress and he's still staying put. And he's also saying what we all saw here today that I've played to you, that he does not even mind if he has to sacrifice his personal ambition to realize that one young person takes over this leadership and this country can at least progress. Okay? And then we also have Kingsley Moghalu, who has also been doing very fantastically, presenting ideas, engaging people, displaying maturity, reeling out programs and projects and visions that he wants to achieve. So, but if you ask me, all of these people running separately will not give us the desired victory. So 2019 is still not clear for young persons or for young people or young hopefuls in this country if they all run separately. I agree with you that they cannot all run separately and deliver it, okay? But the point is, if we want to go the way we are going presently, the point is, who therefore do we think should go? Who should sacrifice ambition for who? They are all qualified. I'm not biased about anybody. They are all qualified. But who should sacrifice ambition for who? But great leadership example there, Fela Durotoye, I must say. Great leadership example there. All right? Sheyi Banjo says, he's a man of honor. I agree with you. I totally agree with you. Johnson Oluyomi says, nice one from Fela. Nice one from Fela because he's demonstrating example. Who else should demonstrate example after Fela has demonstrated example. All right? Suggest names of others that should also demonstrate this example of saying, my personal ambition is not as important as the collective goal. All right? Let one person go forward and we support the person. That is what we're saying here. Olaomonuruddin, my man, he said, this is the real man that have Nigerians and Nigeria in his mind. I agree with you. Fela Durotoye demonstrated it thoroughly in what we have examined tonight. Michael Florence said, which party does he belong to? Well, the party is ANN, Alliance for New Nigeria. He is not the owner of the party, unlike some other young aspirants who wants to be sure that they will not belong to a party that will be hijacked. Fela Durotoye went to join an existing party, all right? And then the party he joined is ANN. He's not the only person in that party. Dr. Thomas Wilson Ikubese is also in the same party. The female aspirant, Elishama Ide, is also in the same party. All right? And these are people who are saying, even if we don't emerge, whoever emerges, we will all support. Okay? So, Michael Folarin, Fela Durotoye's party is ANN, Alliance for New Nigeria. Movie Lift West Africa say, good idea, bro. Yes, good idea too. Good idea, Fela Durotoye. That's a good one he put there, and I'm also happy about it, right? Don Vesa say, okay, tell us who you are supporting. I've mentioned this severally on this platform. Many people supporting different aspirants are free to come on and let us know who they are supporting and why. All right? I am not particularly keen. I have interviewed almost all these aspirants I have mentioned. Not all of them, but almost all of them. And I can tell you that all of them have something to deliver. All of them that I've so far interviewed, including the female aspirant on the flag bearer of the NIP, Mrs. Eunice Atuejide, and is in her own capacity too. As a female, she's trying. So I've met almost all of them, I've interviewed them, and I can tell you that all of them have something to offer. So I'm not particularly going to say, oh, this is the person. No. Let it depend on all of you who are supporting the respective. But what I'm simply trying to do is let us give all of them the leverage or the balanced ground to run on, not positioning one person above the other and now using it to judge. No. If you open your mind to all of them and see what each of them is capable of, you will not be biased. You will be able to objectively say, okay, this is the person that actually has the edge. That is what I'm trying to say. All right? Then, Sheyi, sorry, I think I jumped there. Okay, Sheyi Banya say, even though he stepped down, he is still a valuable asset to our country. He is still going to play a major role. Taking over Nigeria need more people like him. I agree. Honestly, I agree. Infinity Baba, you said Fru. Well, the message is incomplete. Maybe you write it again, please, so that we can get it. All right? Uyi Osazuwa Oshunde. He said, the way Nigerians and our great Sonny Okosun has been asking for all these years is finally here. It is AAC, African Action Congress. Well, we are talking about Fela Durotoye tonight and the great sacrifice he's making, all right? Jonathan Modibe say youth awakening, no doubt. All right? Uyi Osunde. Osunde came back and said, whom with his passion for the Nigerian masses and his vast experience of many years is pushing for a free and developed Nigeria by fighting against and tackling the corrupt, evil leaders. That's all I see. I didn't see more than that, but I'm also displaying so everybody can see. It's not as if I'm cutting anybody's comment off. All right. Bolaji Olaojo say, I think Kingsley Moghalu can deliver the change we want on behalf of all the candidates. Well, but thank you. But tonight we are talking about Fela Durotoye's sacrifice, Fela Durotoye's value, Fela Durotoye's idea, Fela Durotoye's example. Who can you suggest other people that should give this same example that Fela Durotoye has offered, so that we all can have one common front at the end of the day? Fela Durotoye might still emerge the common front. Don't foreclose it. He may still emerge the common front because he is giving example of what others should do. All right? So, mention others that you think should also sacrifice, because this is about Nigeria. It's not about individual. Thank you. Ibrahim Kuku say, no, I don't think so. Shure can do better. Better in terms of what? Sacrifice? Like also submit his ambition? Make it clear, please. Oshunde came back and said the way forward is through Omoyele Shure. I love Fela sacrifice, but Nigerians really need Shure. Daudu Sheun says, what's happening? I just joined. Oh, Daudu Sheun, we maybe after this live broadcast, the video will be published and then you can view it all over again. What we are discussing is Fela Durotoye, the update about him, update about Fela Durotoye. Fela Durotoye is still in ANN, he's still running, and then he has said that this week PACT will decide who the consensus candidate is. If PACT decides he is a consensus candidate, he will continue to run the primary at ANN. But if PACT decides for another person, he will drop his ambition and support that person PACT has decided for. And they will all run for that person. All right, that's what we are discussing tonight. Daudu Sheun, you're welcome on the show. Then Jonathan Modibe said the aspirants must not, I repeat, must not disappoint the youth calling for a consensus candidate. The youth are ready to support the candidate for sure, and that's why we are discussing. That's why this conversation is very important. We're talking about how all these people should be guided to give us one person to go and deliver this election for us. Not all of them running separately and dividing the votes that young people want to invest to see the change they have always craved. All right? So, Oshunde, you said they all cannot rule. Yes, that's why we are here. In fact, they all cannot win. So if they all divide the votes, none of them will win. But if they all decide for one person, well, the likelihood is there that the person will win. So who should sacrifice for who? That's what we are discussing. Ibrahim Kuku says Shure is more qualified than any other presidential aspirant because he's not scared of anybody, and also Shure have delivered Nigeria from military rule, corruption, etc. Well, then who should sacrifice their own ambition? All of them have also done something in their respective sectors, their respective areas or areas of specialization or fields. Okay, they have all done something wonderfully in their respective areas. So who should sacrifice their own is what we're discussing. VCN Media say if your country missed the opportunity of getting the guy Shure as your next president, your country will remain in the circle of the completely lifeless person of Buhari. Well, let me begin by saying that I'm not on this program to use words that are so demeaning, disrespectful, or insulting. The lifeless comments by American President Donald Trump, well, is his personal opinion, all right? But we are discussing young presidency here. We are not discussing who is lifeless, who is not, okay? Thank you so much. And then, Daudu Sheun said, who do we think the candidate will be? Well, the candidate will be who others sacrifice for. So the question, I want to rephrase it as follows. Who are those that should sacrifice for who? Thank you. And then you also came back and said, are we sure they will actually support the candidate? They will. They will. If there are 21 aspirants and 20 of us say one person, or 17 of us say one person, two other persons are saying, well, we don't want to do it. That's the way democracy works. Democracy works in a way that the majority carries the votes. All right? At least they will announce who the consensus candidate is and all of us will hear. and they will know what to do from there. All right? Okay. Movie Lift West Africa say, if you people could mobilize, unite, and become a party, I swear you will get our support from diaspora. I agree. Infinity Baba, you retracted your message. Maybe you misspelled something. Rewrite it and let's get it. Jonathan Mudibe say, once we have the aspirant coming out to give us a consensus candidate, we are ready to follow and support. Thank you. We are on the same page now. All right, we are now on the same page. We need one person because all of them divided cannot win Buhari. As far as they remain divided, they cannot. Because we will divide the votes among them. Those supporting Showore will give him his vote. Those supporting Buhari, Mogalu will give him his vote. Those supporting Durotoye will give him his vote. Those supporting Ekubese and the rest of them. Those supporting Tope Fasua. Those supporting Eunice Atuejide. Those supporting Madam Professor Remishonaya and co. But if they all agree to be one, it will be easy to shake off the status quo and to displace the system and take it over. And that's exactly what my concern is. All right? So they say they all should come together under one party roof and then they make their choice AAC. All right, I leave that comment. Ibrahim Kuku says Showore should be represented as the president because I believe he is the only one. Well, at this point, let me go back to the main topic, which is to appreciate what Fela Durotoye is giving as an example to say, if need be, he wants to sacrifice his own ambition so that if he sacrifices his own ambition, others can take cue and sacrifice, and they will decide for one person. Who mention names of those that you think, let's put it to voting now, those that you think should also subject their own ambitions to this kind of thing. Do not also forget that even though, if I were to be in that pact, for instance, Durotoye submitting his ambition might even be my own choice. Because I see him as somebody that is so selfless. Durotoye might be, if I were to be in pact, I'll sacrifice my own to and say somebody that first sacrificed his own is worthy of being a leader. You know why? Because he's so selfless. Not because he counts himself so low or down to others that he feels he cannot or he cannot win. He knows he can win. For him to have decided to even run in the first place is not cheap. But to say, no, if all of us run, we'll just be wasting resources. Let us agree for one person among all of us. It's sacrifice that is worth it. So let us look at it that way. That's what I'm saying. All right? Daud Hussein says Showore might be the consensus candidate. I'm very sure he's going to win Lagos. Well, if there is a consensus candidate, you can win anywhere. Not only Lagos, you can win Kano, you can win Katsina. All right? But the consensus is what is important at first. Okay? Infinity Baba said the problem you have is between Showore and Mogalu. I think both of them know one to sacrifice for each other. If no one sacrifices, my brother will divide the votes. And none of them will win at the end of the day. All right? Okay, Oshunde says Kingsley Mogalu should also step down. Why do you think so? Why not the other person you want to be? Okay? Give reasons why you think it should be Mogalu that is supposed to step down. Right? Okay. Daudushan say, with all honesty, most of the people in that pact are not popular. Showore is also in pact. And those of you supporting Showore is also in pact. And if you say most of them are not popular, well, all I can say is that I agree with you that some of them are not readily known, have not really done so much work. Some of them do not even have parties yet. Some of them have party, they are not certain about winning the primary or becoming flag bearer of their own parties. So I agree not all of them are popular, right? Fela is not a problem for the youth. Do I understand that? Fela is not a problem. That means Fela is a good person, right? It's not one of the problems I want to shock the youth, if I get you. But if I don't get you, please rewrite it so I can get you. The others say only 3 of them. I don't get. But 3 of them cannot still run, because if the 3 of them run, youth will still not win this election. We're not talking about them winning this election. We are talking about youth winning, because one of them will go and everybody will rally around that person. Okay? Olajide Raji says, others should support Omoyele Sowore. Is Uyi Oshunde said, and don't forget Fela might be afraid to move forward because of the fear of being attacked. Attacked by who or what? And you think he didn't think about this before deciding to run in the first place. He already know what he was coming to face. Alright, the audition, see, only 3 of them are popular. Moghalu, Fela, okay, I now get what you're saying. Only 3 of them are popular? Yes. But not only 3 of them. There is Tope Fasua in that pact. Don't forget, Tope Fasua is the first person to register his own party, ANRP, even before Sowore declared. Okay? Tope Fasua is there. Adamu Garba is there. Ikubese is there. Elishama, I learned, was also at the party. Shino Byron is there. So, most of them are popular. Okay? Mr. Cords say, I really hope they can all come together and support Sowore while the old heroes working together to rescue their country. A lot of us are in diaspora, but we want to be proud of our nation. Yes, I agree with you. A lot of you are in diaspora, especially to be watching this live broadcast at this time. You are not likely residing in Nigeria, because most of Nigerians by this time are already in bed. Okay? But your comments that they should all rally around Sowore, your opinion, right? Good, thank you for it. Oshunde says that is why he might be willing to step down. Why would he be willing to step down? Let me hear what he said at first. Okay, I'll come back because I don't want to miss the new comment. Olayinka Oluwatobi say, if the aim of running is to deliver Nigeria, I think it is imperative for them to come to a compromise. They can come together and agree on one thing, which is what this conversation is about, my brother. Sir, that is what this conversation is about. We need them to be one. Let us all talk to them. Let us all respectively start talking to them. They should agree among themselves, okay, you be our face, be the president. When you win, we will all work for you. When you win, I will help you man. I'm good in the area of this. I will help you man this. So person is good in the area of that. He will help us man that. This person is good in the area of security. He will help us man security. This person is good in the area of finance. He will help us man finance. This person is good in the area of human rights. He will help us man human rights. But let this person be the face. Let us all talk to them. Let's talk to them respectively. Okay? Each of the aspirants can be made ministers and they can do well. Olayinka Oluwatobi, you're right. Taiwo Bejide says Sowore is more popular than any of the presidential aspirants. Well, if you say he's more popular because he's seen every day, always having something, always throwing up activities every day, if that's your definition of popular, you are right. Okay? But others believe it is Moghalu, others also believe it is Durotoye. Alright? These yardsticks might just be different. Okay? Daudu Sheon said, can we trust them? Some of them are in PDP. You mean other aspirants? Other than the ones that we have been mentioning their names so far? Yes, that is why we need to talk to everybody. Talk to them. They should agree to present one person. Alright? If they present one person and we support the person, good. Or maybe you want to filter it that it must not be somebody in PDP that would then be the face or the consensus candidate. If that's what you're saying, well, we can also, weigh it and look at it. Alright? Daudu Shehu says, Sowore won't answer. And they use this funny emoticon. Sowore will not answer what? As in, Sowore will not answer if he is not made the consensus candidate. Is that what you're saying? You are trying to say Sowore is stubborn. Sowore is a good person. No, don't say that. Sowore might agree to also step down. How about that? Okay? David Akinlaja said, please, where is Ahmed Buhari? Did he join PDP? Please confirm. Thanks. Okay, I'll get that information and update you. But at the last check, I think it was in PDP. Ahmed Buhari, I think he is in PDP at the last check. But I'll confirm again to be sure he hasn't left or he's still there. But at the last check, I think he is in PDP. All right. Uyi Oshun, they say, why do you keep saying ha? When we all 90% over 100 keep calling Shore, it shows that this guy passion is people is second to none. That his passion towards his people is second to none. Well, your opinion. The reason I say hi is because that's not the topic we are discussing. The topic we are discussing is not for you to mention who should be. The topic we are discussing is for us to appraise sacrifice by others. The topic we are discussing is for us to appraise the example that Fela Durotoye has offered, so that we can now begin to advise others to sacrifice their own ambitions too, and we cannot reach this compromise. Is it not important? It is. So that's why I'm saying, each time I see that somebody is mentioning Mogalo, or somebody is mentioning Shore, or somebody is mentioning that person should be the consensus candidate, no. I'm saying because that is not what we are discussing. What we are discussing is, what do we do to make others to sacrifice their ambition? I don't want us to derail. That's why I'm saying, whenever I notice that your comment is not exactly matching what we are discussing or focusing on, I say, So I hope you understand me. Sheiban just say, any of this new party working towards Nigerians in overseas participate in this coming election by voting? He said, no. I think you're asking a question. Will any of this new party working towards, is any of this party, I'm trying to fill in the gaps because it's not a complete sentence. Is any of the party working towards Nigerians in overseas to participate in this coming election by voting? Okay, you are trying to talk about diaspora inclusion in voting exercise, in the voting process. Yes, I'm aware that there are some people already pressuring the House to pass a bill to allow people, diaspora Nigerians vote. But be that as it may, there are many Nigerians in the diaspora who are also saying they are coming to Nigeria to vote. I met somebody some past weeks who came all the way from Italy to say he came to Nigeria all because he wanted to obtain his PVC, and that he will come back during election to vote. So people are really determined that even if diaspora voting is not allowed, they will come back and vote. All right? Let me take your own comment. Olajide Raji said, Nigeria need a strong and fairness like Shore. Well, Akin says, the issue is we are trying to make too big a change all at once. Let this election happen and we see who is truly committed when we lose. Some aspirants might not be in this for the long run. I love this comment. You know why? This is somebody who sees hope and balances it with reality. Let us not just be seeing it as we will win. Let us see it as we may not win. But how do we strengthen it after we don't therefore win? Because if elections were tomorrow, it's not totally sure. I'm a realist. If elections were tomorrow, it's not sure that any of these aspirants will win against Buhari right now, as it stands right now. Although 2019 is still a long time, events happen every day and, converts. All right? But if elections were tomorrow, it is not certain for any of these aspirants. And that's exactly why we are saying, how do we make them all come together and present one person to make it, therefore, a strong force? All right? So I thank you for that comment, Just Akin. Thank you so much. I respect that comment. Just Akin came back and said, remember, we still need candidates at all levels. Just being the president might not be able to make the change we want. By the way, you said Shore is your candidate. Thank you so much, but I love the first comment that says we should cast our mind on the possibility that we don't even win this election. And then what happens after election? I love that comment. Thank you so much. Chris Ken says Shore should be picked as a consensus. The rest should go for governorship and senatorial candidates in their respective states. Thank you for that comment, your input. Chijoke Agbo say, I think it will be an alliance between Shore and Moghalu because that is the best option for us. Okay, if there's an alliance between these two, who therefore should be? Thanks for that input. Olajide Raji say, good job, my brother. Politics is a game of numbers. Sure is the deal. Well, sure is the deal if only others agree to work with him. Mogalu is the deal if only others also agree to work with him. You can't do it alone. Jonathan Modibi said, I believe the aspirants are a group of brilliant men and women. I also want to believe that they will consider all the factors and present the candidates whose mandate can woo vote. And I think finally, I want to put it this way, because if I continue to read comments, Taiwo Bejide said, I watched one of the Kingsley Mogalu interview, and the statement was, even if we don't win in 2019, we can plan for 2023. We need someone like Showore that I have no doubt about taking over in 2019. Well, let's balance hope with reality, like I said. But then let us also look at this. If we then want to come up with a consensus candidate, it doesn't have to be by sentiment of those that are in PACT alone. We have to ask ourselves the question, who do we think can actually deliver this election? Who do we think if we present him, he will win, he will get maximum support and will win this election at all costs? The person that you feel, if we present this person, will win that election for us. Is it, if everybody supports Mogalu, will Mogalu win this election? Will he have, national acceptance? If we present Durotoye and others support him, will Durotoye have the national acceptance? If we present Showore, will he have the national acceptance? If we present Ikubeze, will he have national acceptance and win this election? If we present Tope Faswa, will he have national acceptance? If we present Eunice Atuejide, will she have national acceptance? If we present Elisha Maide, will she have national acceptance? That is the question that is very critical. Who has the capacity to win this election? And how do we make other sacrifice for that person? That is the question I want all of us to answer. Therefore, share this video. Let us reach out to all our people. Share this video. Subscribe to this page. Because this conversation will be coming every night, Nigerian time, every evening like this. And we'll continue to take this conversation further. Alright? All these aspirants are watching this platform. I know earlier today, some aspirants, they reached out to me. And they say, well done. You are excluding the rest of us. You are only mentioning Mogalu and Showore. They are watching. Let's share this video. Let's continue the conversation. Keep your comments flowing. Let the interaction continue. Even if after stopping this live broadcast, and it will remain published on YouTube. Share it. Subscribe to this page. Call others to subscribe to this page. Let more people see the video and see the interactions we have had so far. Let them also add their views. Let us all mass together and see how we can achieve this. Not for one of them, for all of us. Let the comments keep flowing. I may not read all of them now because of time. All right? But let them keep coming because I'll come back to read them. And all of you are also reading the comments one another you are all putting. Let us all be weighing our options. Let's all be seeing what should be. All right? So thank you so much, all of you, for coming online to sit down and listen to me rant. You listen to my rants this night. And you have been doing so since I started live broadcast on this page in the past days. Thank you so much. I want to appreciate you once again. I appreciate all of you for coming online. Lajide, Raji, Taiwo Bejide, Just Frank, Chijoke Agbo, Christian Odreme. I love all of you. And then let me read the last comment by Christian Odreme. I know another one will come in before I close, but let me just read the one I see as the last currently. Finally, we would have to decide this election with a consensus in our minds before December, so we can use January and February to prepare ourselves for the massive voting. I agree with you. I agree with you. And that's a wise comment. So thank you. Share this video, subscribe, and hit the bell button so that when next we come online, you'll be notified that we're live. All right? Thank you so much. And then I'll see you again. Until then, keep talking about things that matter. Don't forget what we discussed today is Fela Durotoye is still running on the platform of ANN. and that PACT will decide consensus candidates this week. And I thank you once again for staying tuned and for watching. My name is Shegun.